to get things started, and this is working out pretty good. Welcome to the webinar How to Create a Massive Amount of Social Content in a Fraction of the Time, presented to you by Zig Media. My name is John Taylor, and I'm really glad to be here. And today we're going to talk about leverage marketing and how you can effectively create content to grow your business and accomplish your goals. I got a new mic today, so it's kind of got that big voice, big radio voice thing to it. So I'm kind of digging that. We're recording this for a video, so you can check back with us in a couple of days, and we will have a step-by-step video where you can go through some of the things that we talked about and review them. So what is this webinar about? Well, this webinar is about busy business owners who have not enough time, who do not have enough time to create a comprehensive social media marketing program, which is most business owners. The challenge is that the social media takes a long time to create. It takes a lot of person hours to dedicate to create content every day to put out there. And a lot of small business owners are doing a million different things, and they don't have that. Um, they don't have the resources to dedicate to a full-time social media marketing person. So what we do here at Zig Media is we provide social media marketing strategies, consulting, and execution, but we also provide tools for people to use so that they can do it on their own. And we can basically train ourselves out of a job. And that's what we look to do. So we want to share some of those with you today. All right. So none of this is, it's not rocket science, and it's not anything that's extremely hard. What we do here is we use a number of tools to create a unique result that you may not expect. And it's kind of a remixing software and experimenting with different things to make life easier for you as a small business owner or a solopreneur. Shoo. That is the same slide. Okay, so that was the slide you're supposed to be watching. So now we're on to the next one. This is a new webinar platform that we're using, and we're getting used to it. So, okay. Okay, I'm tracking. All right, so a successful campaign is going to require a roadmap and a plan in order to be successful. And so, what we want you to think about when we're creating all of this content and um, looking at how we're going to accomplish these goals of creating more content in less time, you have to focus on the basics. And the basics are who needs you, what is your message, what is the reason why, what is your big why that you want to do this, and then let's find the best method to achieve this result. So the first part, mhm. So this is not working very well. There we go. All right. So content. When you're creating your content, a lot of people start here and then they think about who am I selling to, and why am I selling it, and how am I going to sell it? We think about this the other way, and this is called our circle of life. It's that deep. It's the life of your marketing campaign. So the content is in the middle, and it's actually the last thing that you do. First thing you do is you identify who needs you. And if you look in your email box, you'll see that there's an email in there, and it has a number of links to it. And the first one is going to be an ideal client worksheet. It's about 18 pages. It's very in depth, and it's going to really dig into who needs your services. Uh, when you can identify who that is, it's easier to create the content because you're going to be speaking to a person rather than speaking to the world. Like if you open your door and just say, "Hey, I got this great product," no one's going to listen. But if you can go to the exact person and say, "Hey, person, I can see that you have this pain point or this problem, and I have a solution for you," then you can relate to that person as a human. The ideal client goes into an extensive, in-depth breakdown of what that person is, and that's going to be a whole webinar in itself. But if you'd like some help with that, if you've already done it, we're going to spend a brief amount of time on it. But if you've never done it, just a quick overview. The more you know about the fears and the pains and the challenges that your ideal customer has, and the more that you can identify who they are, like if you're sitting there going, "I've been in business for 10 years or 30 years or whatever, I know exactly who my client is," you're probably the person who's on top of the list who needs to do the ideal client worksheet. And the reason is because usually you don't know. I suggest doing it once a year because as your business grows and as your business changes, you're going to see who is the best person that you can work with. So the way that I did it is I broke down who are the 5 or 6 people that I love working with, that I wake up in the morning and I'm excited. And when they email, I want to email them back and get it. Of course, I want to do all that for everybody, but some people are just awesome, really, really awesome to work with. So in developing that ideal client, um, I wrote down, I developed a person who's, their name, their age, their marital status, their children, what keeps them up at night, what kind of TV shows they watch, what kind of books they read, and made like a fake person. It's kind of a make believe person. That's the first step, and it takes a long time to do that. It sounds weird. It sounds like it might be challenging, but do it. Take the time. It's going to be worth it. When you are through with that, then you go and you take 10 clients on your list. So randomly grab 10 people, maybe people who you have never worked with, people who you have worked with, reach out to them and say, "Hey, can I talk to you about your business?" And then you call them up and you try to find out a lot of those questions that we just went through in the ideal worksheet. You're going to find out what keeps them up at night, what holds them back, what's keeping them from getting to that next level. And you're going to compile all that, and that's going to be your ideal client. When you're speaking to a person and you can address you can address their problems with a useful solution, your content is going to be stronger. The second thing is going to be your outcome. We're going to go into this a little bit more in depth in just a moment, but the outcome is the goal. The goal is I would like to have 100 more clients, or I would like to gain 10,000 email addresses, or I would like to sell $1 million worth of product. So when you're developing your content, having your outcome is very important. I'm going to reach over here and grab my water. One moment. I left it on the other side of the room. Not a good thought. Except this mic is so good, you're going to hear me drink. That's going to be weird. Okay, we'll get over it. So the big why. The big why is why you do what you do. Simon Sinek does a wonderful TED Talk from 2009 called it's called like the big why, I think. I don't think it's called that, but it's something like that. And he goes into what is the why behind your product. Apple does not actually sell computers, they sell the lifestyle and the feeling, and they happen to make really awesome stuff also. So if you can identify your big why when you're creating your content, you're going to connect with people at a deeper level, a more authentic and genuine level, and they're going to like you more. That's what it's all about. So then what we do is we talk about our action. So the action is related to the outcome. If you'd like to get 50,000 email addresses, then the action would be to capture email addresses. So when you're creating your content, you know who needs it, you know what your goal is and your big why, you direct them through a funnel that collects email addresses. So that is the basics of marketing. And if you'd like to be a part of our webinar that's going to be just focused on this, let me know. I'd like to hear what kind of questions you would have for that. That's going to come out in July. It's going to be our July webinar, and it's going to be kind of our marketing 101, getting to know your basics before you create the content. Everybody wants to go to the content part of, dumping out all your great ideas and spewing your great quotes and everything. But if they're not directed towards a cause, you're kind of speaking to an empty room. Not kind of, you really are. Okay, so video. We do three things here. We do video, social, and web. And to us, they are one thing. They are creating a message. Video is the medium that we use. We're going to cover that in just a moment. But the reason we use video is because video is number one. Yep, YouTube is number one. Biggest search engine in the world next to Google, but it's owned by Google, so it really is the same thing. Video is the strongest growth area of Facebook, and it's the best method to capture authenticity. And authenticity is what is lacking in a lot of content. You'll see just stuff out there, but if you can develop and create an authentic connection with the end user, you're going to be in much better shape. And we find in our experience that video is the best way to do that. And here is a nice statistic chart just to prove my point that YouTube is the best, Facebook is the second best. So a little point on this slide. If you are creating content, you need to have a website, you need to have email. Next, you need to have Facebook, and then you have to have YouTube. Depending on what product you're selling or how you're connecting with people, all of these down here, which are Instagram, Pinterest, Snapchat, LinkedIn, they're going to come into various levels of importance based on your services and who you're trying to target. So that is that handy dandy little slide. So, and I keep having trouble with this new software, but that's okay. We're doing great. Okay, so Zig Media, what do we do? And like I said, video, social, and web are one thing. Video is the foundation of of what we do. It's the medium that we use to create a message. The web is the foundation, and that's very important because you own your web, even if it's on WordPress.org. You pretty much own the rules of how that property will function and how your algorithms will work, for lack of a better word. But if you've worked on Facebook over the last year, you understand that the rules have changed. Everything has changed. What worked 6 months ago does not work today, because they continually change their algorithms, and they continually will. Or as they call it on Kimmy Schmidt, the algorithms, which I love that. I love it. So social, you need social in order to connect. The social is the connector that drives people to your web and creates the action that you are looking for. So like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about the outcome and what that's about. So when you talk about your outcome, a lot of times people say, well, I have a product that is going to be appealing and wonderful for everybody, and it's going to solve everybody's problem. So the example that I use is, let's say you're just an online business person or a health coach, and you want to make people healthier. So if you go out and say, my product is I make people healthier, you're probably not going to sell anything. But if you sell something like your story, let's say your story is that you were losing weight and you were doing great, and then all of a sudden at that last 10 pounds, you hit a wall and you could not lose that last 10 pounds. And then you came up with a way where you could do a certain diet and exercise and push through and knock out that last 10. So that's a product. Like, let's say you're coaching or you have a nutrition plan or whatever, a diet book, whatever it is. So that is a specific thing that a lot of people could relate with. So if your website was how to lose that last 10 pounds, um, you would have a very specific outcome for your client when they arrive at your site. Being very specific is very important. If you try to make marketing content and it is everything for everyone, like I say, you're not going to appeal to anyone. So find your very specific product, your very specific outcome, and then what you'd like to do with that? I'd like to help people lose the last 10 pounds, and I'd like to make $1 million doing it. That sounds great, doesn't it? I would love that. So, and I'm having trouble with the last 10 pounds. So if any of you uh, create a little seminar, webinar diet that will do that, be sure to let me know because I'm going to sign up for it. So we're going to go to the next slide. Authentic. This is the most important. So be very authentic in all of your marketing. Be very real. Connect with people on a very genuine level. Um, I find personally that selling is not my best way. If I try to sell or try to be too schmaltzy with people. They see right through it. So I'm here to help. I'm here to work with people, and I'll talk with you. I'll hang out with you. We'll go have coffee. We'll do all kinds of stuff. For me, that works best, and I find that other businesses in the space that I work in that are about integrity and authenticity, um, they tend to thrive. And the other part of that is your true voice. So a lot of times people will talk about their business and they'll say, "Hey, we are," let's say we're talking about Zig Media, and we're a content creation company that will help all verticals achieve their marketing goals and accomplishments, and whatever. So nobody likes that. No one's going to listen to that. But if I say, "Hey, I'm going to work with you, and I want to be your partner, and I want to talk to you about what you're doing, and if you're creating a webinar or a book." I would love to hear about it. We don't create books, but I'd sure love to hear about how you created a book. I'd love to hear about that process. I authentically want to know about that. Um, but the other thing is speaking it to somebody like they are there. A lot of times when we email or we create marketing material, we're speaking to like what we think is a 1992 uh, marketing professor when we try to create this, but really we need to use the words that you normally use the terminology that you use, speak how you normally speak, and carry that message. That's why we use video, because if you get yourself in a beautiful state in a wonderful place, you can then be able to speak very much like you speak and be very authentic and genuine. So we are going to move along. So video. So in your email, you have a thing called a 7.5 guide. It's 7.5 ways to create video if you are a busy business owner. Let's see if we can pull it up. Look at that. Everything's working out good. So what this is it's going to give you some tips and tricks on how to make video and the basics. The first thing is a little bit about what we do with the 7.5 guides, some basic audio equipment that you can use, some good video suggestions, and we also tell you what we use so you can get the exact same thing and we could all hang out together and be cool. The basics about light, and then it goes into some basic practices of how to create good video, your angle, and uh, getting yourself in your best self. Stand up, shake your body out, talk to somebody, um, get yourself talking about something wonderful, and then when you create your content, you're going to be in a really good place and you're not going to talk like a robot. And you all want to know what the point five is. But if I give away the ending of the book, you won't read it. So you'll have to go on to your email and check that. And if you don't, let me know because like I say, we're working all these new things out here. Consistency is going to be our next slide. If we can get there, there we go. Consistency is required. So if you're going to do this and you give it a month and nothing happens, nothing's going to happen. So you're going to have to give it a little bit more than that. A good campaign, count on 12 to 15 months. Dedicate the time that you know that you can achieve to it. In the beginning, it's going to be clunky, but as you get going, it's going to move faster. So stick with it. Don't give up. Never surrender. Cobra Kai. All right. So let's get into the good stuff. That was 20 minutes of the marketing basics. And now we're going to get into the goods. The goods, yo. All right. So automate. This is the key to the whole thing. So if you want to be consistent and you want to get a marketing campaign, you're going to need to automate. You can use Sendable, Hootsuite. We are now using Social Booster because they have a deal on it that you can buy it for like $80 for a year. And you can attach about 10 social platforms to it. And it also has this neat little tool in it, which actually saves a whole step. I have a 5-step process of how you can do this. And with using Social Booster, it is now a 4-step process because they are just so good at what they do. And it's uber cheap. There's a link in your email. And we're going to talk about how that works in just one moment. So back to this, got to know what you're talking about before you create it for it to be authentic. Can you make a ton of content out of crappy content, out of a horrible blabbering video? No, you can't. You got to have some good stuff in there. And the way that you get it is by following this and let us know if this sounds interesting because we're going to make a groovy little webinar about it. So that'll be fun. All right, let me catch up. So this is what we're going to do today. Back to the circle of life process. Okay, here we go. So this is the process. You make a great source, and that is video or audio. You can download our 7.5 guide, which is in your email, and create a wonderful video. We're going to extract that down to audio, and that is going to be the base of what we do. You have to have a good thing to start. So that's why you need all this front end stuff of marketing and message and getting that book. Then we're going to run it through VLC to extract some images and make some audio. And while we're doing that, we're going to run it through Go Transcript, which is a transcription software, but it's done by humans, not an AI. And then this Get Stencil piece, that's out of here because Social Booster does it all because we just replaced Sendable with Social Booster. So let's get started. Let's get started. Let's try it again. There we go. Woo. All right, source. So we talked about being authentic and genuine. Make sure you go through that part, create your good video, create your fantastic source. Here we have a video that we are going to move over to the other stuff. There we go. This is groovy. Okay. So here is a video that we have. And because of the way that the stream, let's check this. So our stream's a little bit funny. So I'm not going to play this video a lot because it's gonna bog down your Googles and your YouTubes. But this is basically the video, and it talks about the benefits of being an ICF coach. So there's 6 speakers, and they all say the benefits of being a coach are this, that, and the other thing. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to take our video that we created, and you could shoot this in your living room and just say, hey, this is what my business is about. This is my authentic message. This is what I'm doing. And this is why I'm so passionate about it. So let's say you have a minute or two video. You're going to put it into VLC, which is the first software that we're going to look like. And once again, that link is in your email, but it is just a media player that is super powerful. It's for Windows and Mac. It goes on your phone. It does everything. Um, it's sort of like Windows Media Player or QuickTime, but it does a whole lot more. And um, I think it's open source. Yeah, it's org. So there's no ads on it. It's completely free. I don't even think you can buy it. You can donate to it to help support it. You know, give them $5. They're super groovy. There's ways that you can extract YouTube videos. You can change codecs. You can do anything with it. So it's a really great piece of software to own. So you go ahead and you download it from VLC. You install it onto your computer, and then when you open it up, you can just open up a media file, and that's what we did here. I think I jumped ahead a little bit. So when we're in this point, what we're going to do is we're going to take some pictures, and these are going to turn into images. So we're going to take that picture, and see it says, oh, I just put a picture away for you. And then we're going to take another picture. There's Julie. She's running for Senate. Vote for her if you live in Wauwatosa. And there's Krista. She's always so happy. This is wonderful. That is a glitch in the matrix. Wow. I don't even know what happened there. So basically you get the point. Since I'm crashing and burning here on the end of this file, we'll just ditch that. But you get the idea that this little button right here, which I should have a highlighter on this presentation, but this little button right here is the take a snapshot button. And from there, you can extract photos from your video. And look at how sharp that is. That's crystal clear. It's going to look great on Facebook. That's going to be fantastic. So that is the first step. It's the second step. It's the first step of the process. So we'll just call it that is the step that we're working on. How's that? So what I'm going to do next in this VLC program is I'm going to convert and save. So it's going to say convert and save. We're going to add, and this was open a second ago and it moved. Social accelerator example. There it is. So this is the video that we're watching right now. There we go. So what I've done is I've loaded in the video that we're watching right here into the convert, and I'm going to convert and save. And then I'm going to hit that button, and then it's going to say I'm going to make it into an MP3. And the reason I want it to be an MP3 is because it's going to be easier and lighter to move it around when I get it transcribed. So I'm going to browse, and I'm going to save it, and boom, there it is. It's saved. It's like magic. It's the magic of movies. It all works out really well. So that is the use of VLC. I'm going to take pictures from my video, and I'm also going to convert my video to audio. My next step, going back to our presentation, is to get that transcribed. And where I go for transcription is Go Transcript. Once again, that post is in or the link is in your email, and they also gave all of you $10 to try. There's a lot of transcription networks out there. This one's about 78 cents a minute, but it's humans doing it. If AI does it, what happens is the transcription just comes out as it starts and it ends as one big lump of text, and then you have to cut it up, and add punctuation, capitalization. When humans do it, they get it a lot closer. AI is still it's still pretty good. Like if you use Evernote or Google to transcribe your voice directly to text, That's another method of doing it. But once it's already on, it's already printed on video or media, you're going to want to use one of these. So this is the actual. This is untouched and unedited by me. This is what I got back from Go Transcript of this exact video that we watched about the benefits of the ICF. And as you can see, they broke it down to each speaker. They have nice commas and they have great capitalization where proper. I mean, this is good stuff. It's complete and it's good, and this is going to be the base of our um, of our extraction of creating massive amounts of content from 1 minute of video. So you can see that in this video, each one of these sayings is a very um, pointed line that has a message. Um, now that we've taken the pictures from VLC, that's this thing, and now we have the transcription. Now our next step will be to put it into a deck, which we can distribute it and create massive amounts of content out of. So the deck that we use, and what I call deck, is a distribution platform like Social Booster. A little earlier, we talked about the different ones. There's Social Booster, Sendable, Hootsuite. Social Booster is the one that we use because it does this one particular thing, and it's super cheap. Once again, sorry if you can hear me drink water. It's that fancy mic that we have. It's my DJ voice mic. All right. Okay, so Social Booster is at socialbooster.com. They have, if you sign up, you can claim your 70% discount, and it's ridiculously cheap. Let's see where that takes us. Yeah, so it was 786 a month, and now it's $2.15 a month. You can get the enterprise version for $7.19 a month. Buy as much as you can, because when the intro is over, then you go to full price, but full price is only like $8. I would get something in the pro line. You can do 20 social profiles. One additional team member, so that's you plus one. So it's kind of a weird way everybody says team members, and then it'll say the amount, but it's actually additional team members. You can do the RSS feeds, which is going to be RSS feeds is a different way of getting content. So if you are, let's say you do something where there's just a lot of content out there, you can curate content by using feeds, which is a whole other seminar. We're not going to do that. And then you can post. Going with Pro, you can post unlimited amounts of posts. When I show you how this is done, you'll be able to see that you can post out your whole year. You can post out 3 months worth of social media content. And the other thing is the ads manager, which is really important because then you can work off of one platform and do everything. And they all got analytics. But the cool things about this one are the posts. That's my personal email. No, I'm kidding. So the 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 um, the queuing unlimited posts and the RSS feeds and the ads manager. So when you log into Social Booster, and if I'm going too fast on any of this stuff, just give me a call. We can walk through it one-on-one and see if we can um, get you more familiar with it. These webinars and seminars, I've been doing them for a few months now, and we're getting more fluid in them. But I love to hear your feedback. If I can go slower, go faster, if I'm not explaining things enough, I love to hear it all. And because I want to do better in teaching or showing, I'm not teaching, I'm just showing you software that exists and some cool ways to use it. So here's how you use it. Use the deck. This is Social Booster. It is just like using Facebook. So you post of neat things, and then you can share now, and it goes right to choose a profile. There you go. Go right to our MK Video Facebook page, and then you can define target um, target locations and target people. So just right off the bat, if you go to Facebook and you post, you're posting to everything and everyone. Here you can start targeting, and that is very powerful stuff. So if you upload a photo, maybe we can upload a photo from The Meaning of Life in a Donut, a wonderful show that you should all check out on our YouTube channel, which launched today. Let's just say we put a post. So we have an attachment on there, and then post of neat things, and then that's going to go right on our Facebook page. You can hit share now, and it'll go right now. A wonderful thing is you could auto schedule. Auto schedule is going to when you define a range of people. So let's say you're targeting 39 to 48-year-old women in Alabama. Should be an interesting product. We'd love to see it. So, and they all speak German. So if you really want to get fancy with your targeting, so you have a very specific, a very focused target, and then you can auto schedule it, and it will schedule when the demos hit the highest in that range. Very nice to use. I prefer to use scheduling. So in scheduling, we could do something like we'll schedule this for next Wednesday at 7:33 a.m. because that's the best time that this post works. And now we have our posts that are going to be right down here, post of neat things, and we can look at them on the calendar, and we can see that it's coming up. So you can see how we could post out many things in a row. So back to, now that we've covered what Social Booster is, back to the extraction. So we had our video in the beginning that we went to VLC, and we got the VLC. And then we went to Go Transcript, and we transcribed it. And then when we were in VLC, we got the pictures. And now we're going to bring it all together and make the world rock by bringing it into Social Booster. So what you'll do is you'll go into Studio Beta, and this is where the fun begins. So you can see up here, this is everything that you need to make awesome images. So you can use the images that are in here because they have backgrounds. They have all kinds of different things that you can put in there. You know, life is an ocean, swim it, or what is that? That's a mountain. So yes, life is a mountain, climb it. You could make a little quote card and then put your name on the bottom, and then you could post it. So let's do that real quick. Let's say we're going to make a Instagram because Instagram is rocking right now. And we're going to just make a little tiny post that says, climb the stairs. Oh, it's really hard to type like this. Of life. Let's say that's your quote that defines you and your business. That's wonderful, right? You can tell I'm not in the, this is why I don't work at Hallmark. And then you're going to brand it with your name. A great quote. Oh, Tilda. There we go. And then you can change the font and make it really groovy and super fancy like. Now that's your quote. That defines you as a human being, and you want to put that on Instagram, you can just hit the share button. And now it's ready to go. And that's an Instagram post. So let's just say that this was Instagram. You can click um, your social media platform that you're going to use, and then you're going to say climate climate change. Look at that. That's funny. Back to the Al Gore rhythm reference. So we're going to schedule that for Earth Day, which is April 21st, but we'll just say it's on the equinox. Schedule now. Okay. So that would be one really awesome use. So in the previous life, we used Stencil, which does the exact same thing, but it doesn't post to any um, it doesn't post to any platforms, and they charge you for it. Canva makes one. There's a whole bunch of people who make little things where you can um, get these little images, and then there's text, and then you can change it. And if it's a box of strawberries, straw. Um, and you can create these different types of quote cards to brand your media. Um, but we're going to use the Social Booster one. That's one way of using it, using the existing stuff. But back to our previously scheduled program, we are going to take an image that we took out of, yeah, let's just say we took that one today. So this is the image that we took, and then we can say, oh, there we go. Oh my, I don't know how that works. So we'll just scrap that, scrap that, scrap this. And then you could put this on the background. Look at that. Is that slick or what? And then you go over to your quote. And Julie was our second speaker on that program. So then you could take the good stuff out of the quote. It was all a good quote, but we'll just take this little part, add new text. And then you select all and then paste. And then it's way too small. So I have to go to a bigger font size. And we'll make that a nice font. And there we go. Oh boy, this is a little tough one to grab. You're kind of a pain in the butt, aren't you? Yeah, you are. Yeah, I'm not liking you. Me and you aren't getting along, text box. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna have something to say when this is over. Me and text box are gonna go at it. Okay, so this is great. We have the stairs, which defines you're going to climb on a journey of certification. We have a fantastic quote, the ladder of certification. Look at that. Ladder, stairs, same thing. Tomato, tomato. And then we have Julie saying it. And then we could, if we wanted to make it fancier, we could put a logo on it or do something like that to brand it. Like, let's say your brand is Diesel Ideas Power Time. You could put your brand on it, and then you can share that right to your post. You can share that right to your Facebook or to your Instagram, like we said. So that's how it's done. It is a pretty easy process, and it's really just a couple of little things that you're going to need to learn um, to do it. The main thing is using Social Booster. Um, it's a wonderful software. I sound like I'm a paid spokesman. We don't get paid by Social Booster. We're not associated with them in any way. I just think it's just so neat how good it works and how cheap it is. Um, and it's just a handy little piece of software. So what you could do to bring this all together, you can create a video. Let's say it's a minute or two of video. You can go through and then extract a bunch of images. You could extract let's say 10 images from it. When you go to Go Transcript, which is your next step, you're going to transcribe it. And what you'll do is create a new order. We didn't really go over that very well, did we? You just hit create a new order. You got $10 free. So go make a video this afternoon and try it. And from there, you're gonna go ahead and upload the audio that we created, and it's gonna one file loaded, and it's gonna cost you $1 for a minute 14. And then it's gonna ask you some questions of how you want it turned around. I want it turned around in 5 days, number of speakers, 1 to 2, time stamping, uh, how how good of a job do they want to do, clean verbatim or full verbatim. If there's some accents, they usually want to know stuff like that. So that's the basics of Go Transcript, and that's where you're going to end up with this document. And this is the download of that actual transcript, and it gives all of the information. They don't know that this person is Julie and this person's Ellen or whatever. So you might have to fill that in, but it has punctuation and capitalization, and that's pretty fantastic. So if you would go into Social Booster, which is our final step of the process, you can go into uploads and upload all the pictures that you took from VLC. That's this software over here. Remember this? And we hit the snapshot, and then we took pictures. And here's all the pictures that I took out of VLC. And you can upload any of these into the Social Booster and then create different posts out of them. So you see this process that we did with Julie. You could make an Instagram, and then from here, you could also go and make a LinkedIn. Okay, come on. You can do it. There we go. Okay. So, LinkedIn is the same size. That's why I didn't move. So this is the Facebook version. So now you go and you edit it up a little bit and change it. And get your quote going, and then you'll hit share, and then you'll share that to your Facebook post. So let's talk about this one moment before we go further. This is going to kind of wrap things up. If you post to Facebook, the people who need to see your ad might not be on Facebook at that time. They might be on Instagram, or they may be on LinkedIn, or they may be at the beach because it's summer. So, a good strategy will post to Facebook, and you'll post the same ad maybe a couple of times, like every Monday or every other Monday for like 6 weeks, let's say. And then on Instagram, you'll do the same thing, but maybe you'll put that on Instagram on Tuesdays. And then you'll put the same ad onto LinkedIn on Wednesdays. And then you'll skip a week and kind of spread things out. So you'll have a campaign will repeat itself, repeated over a 6 or 8 week period. So this particular video is about the benefits of the ICF. So what we would do is cluster all of those ads into 1 week, because that would be the message. And then we would highlight it with a video that we shot already. And we would put that into our newsletter, and then we get it out to everybody, and couple that with the ads, and you would have a massive amount of posts. So from this, let's say you had 6 posts on Instagram, 6 posts on LinkedIn, 6 on Twitter, 6 on Google Plus, 6 on Facebook. Granted, Twitter and Google Plus don't really count, but let's say you just Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, those count. That's 6, that's 18. And then you have the video, so that's another one, that's 19. And I'm really stretching to try to get to 20, because that's what I promised. But we're at 19, and I think that's pretty fair. Now, if you repeat that, that's week 1 and week 3. Now you have 38 posts that are quality posts over 2 separate weeks. in your campaign. And let's say your campaign is a 6-week cycle, and then you repeat it. Um, you can see how you can get this done quickly and easily. It's shooting a video with a quality message to it that's authentic and genuine, that's speaking to your client and your customer, getting it transcribed and extracting photos. And you don't have to extract photos from the video. Like if kittens on the floor are going to be way better than pictures of you. Well, go with the kittens. Whatever sends your message, whatever like speaks your brand, do it. And then you're going to load it into Social Booster, and then you can map out your whole strategy for weeks ahead, and then you're going to crush it. So that is that is the dealio on what we do and how to create massive amounts of content in a fraction of the time. When you get working jiving on this, you can crank out a 1 minute video you can do in 15 or 20 minutes. And then you can repeat that process and have 6 to 12 weeks of marketing completed in a short period of time. So that is all I have. A little plug for what we do. We're here at Zig Media. We create video, social, web. If you need assistance in any of this, please give us a call. We'd love to sit down, have coffee with you, talk about what you're doing, what's working, what's not working. It doesn't cost anything. We'll even buy you coffee. We'll buy you a donut too if you're super cool, and we'll talk about your marketing and your strategy and your future goals, and if it would be useful if we came in and just gave you some training or trained you and your staff, or did something more extensive where we do something like a webinar or a full production or a TV show. We got a number of shows out there and a number of webinars, and we'd love to help you get there. So that's my little shameless plug of plugging, and that's all we got. So I want to thank you very much for stopping by. Drop me an email or a call, and I'd love to help. So have a great day, everybody, and thank you very much.